Hi, it's Cortland with Punch Drunk Critics. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Great. Thanks for
Awesome.
asking. How are you, Cortland?
It's very cold and rainy here, which I feel like is the perfect vibe to talk about this movie. This
Where
very,
are you? Can you
I'm in
remember?
DC.
Oh, okay, great.
Very like witchy. This very witchy movie deserves to be talked about on a gray day. Um, how did this chef living and working in a witch's house kind of come about? I know you both pulled from your own time in the food service industry.
Krudy?
Sorry.
Um, yes, there were so many elements to the stew, Cortland, that we sort of like were kind of trying to create out of. And what began as a mission to tell a story about a woman finding her voice obviously became this like extra personal story about like a journey into leadership. And all these sort of like fun elements were sort of they kind of like reveal themselves along the way, including the sort of concept of the witch and the idea of being like haunted by this other woman, or sort of like your worst fears of what you could be or what you could become. So it sort of like really naturally evolved out of this like very signature Danielle and Bridget like brain stew. And we just tried to like let it go from there like a roux. It kind of found its own little character.
And Bridget, was there like a favorite thing that you added to the story that you loved?
Oh, I couldn't possibly say. Krudy and I go into a mind meld when we're making stuff, and all the ideas are totally mishmash together. I do remember the moment when we were trying to figure out, a leadership, movie about finding your voice, and Krudy said, "Well, what if it's a chef?" And then it was like, brrr. So it was one of those fun things. We felt like we knew the world of restaurants, which was good, even if we weren't great chefs ourselves. And we really connected with the biographies of these other chefs and the experience of working in kind of tough environments and having to kind of undo some of that shell in order to find your own way and own path forward, moving forward. Yeah.
For the last 4 years, I have been obsessed with your first feature, Blow the Man Down. And
Thank
if I'm
you.
remembering correctly, the Connolly sisters in that film are referred to as witches, if I'm remembering right. Should we kind of expect that? Uh,
Is it with the older women or
no, the
the
sisters.
of
I
the
believe I believe the police officer says, like, they say you're like witches or something. I believe if I'm
It's
remembering.
so long since I've seen the
I
movie,
know. I
so you
was
know
like, is
what?
there a line I
Oh, wait.
forgot?
But there
There's a
seems
sort
to
of
be,
a
oh, sorry.
no. Go ahead, Cortland.
No, I was going to say there seems to be, this idea of sisterhood in both films, and that this like discovering your own power, obviously in two very different ways, but those seem to be themes. So I was wondering if we should expect that in your future projects, and how that carried over into this one.
We really want to tell stories about invisible women, and Bold the Man Down is like a very specific slice of invisible women, the women in your life who are powerful and who you might not expect to be as powerful as they are. An everyday powerful woman. And with this, it was like the invisible women of who are like sort of like pushed to the edges of society, which is our witches, who are sort of like deemed invisible or not sort of like belonging. And we wanted to kind of reclaim that archetype, or at least invite you to see it differently.
Absolutely.
And
Well, guys,
channel it.
and
Yeah.
channel it. Yeah.
And
Oh,
channel it when you want to feel strong and not give a crap about people think of you,
Yeah.
and do things from your own intuitive place, even if it might be gnarly to somebody else. So I think that was our hope for this idea of the witch, that it could less of a specific pagan vision, but more literally from a storytelling perspective of like, this is a model. This is another archetype, and we can investigate this.
awesome. Guys, thank you so much for chatting with me. It was a delight.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.